What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at, I want to say Reguilon or Reguilon. I'm just going to call him Reg, the brand new Tottenham left back. What a signing. Obviously a little bit gutted, seeing as though Manu was potentially going to go for him, but unfortunately he has gone to Tottenham. He is coming in right now at about 10.5k. I managed to pack him, which was obviously really brilliant to start the game off. A nice 82 left back, and I thought he might be a little bit more. He was in the price range a little bit earlier on in the game. Day 1, day 2, he was looking at about 20k. Unfortunately, I have missed the boat in terms of selling him for that much. But honestly, not a bad left back, and in the market where Premier League is so goddamn expensive, honestly, I was really happy just to have him in the team. He really put a nice little spin on the team, and as I tend to kind of just, I don't know, I orbit around the Premier League to start with, even though I know it's expensive, it tends to just be my team. I end up getting one player or two players that were brilliant for it. I got Richarlison straight off the bat, so I kind of just made a Premier League team. Whereas Reguilon, he has been in the team for quite a while, but it is time to go. Now I've got another centre-back, which you'll hopefully be seeing a review tomorrow, and the chance of Reguilon getting a one-to-watch card on Friday or in the second week. Because that's what I think a lot of people will forget, is if they don't get one in Team 1, there's a potential that Team 2 could be their team. So hopefully we do see someone like this. And as a left-back, there is pretty much two big ones in the Premier League now, with Telles and obviously Reguilon. Chilwell for Chelsea as well, another one. I don't know every single one, so do forgive me if I have actually missed someone that really could have been in it, but I think he definitely could have a chance of getting one. In terms of stats then, we've got pace, which is fantastic at 85. I think that's a very, very big stat to have on a left back, and especially to start with, because we've seen someone like Trent on the other side. It has a little bit of pace, but the defending and physical really don't match up to his rating. And I think the same with this one. If you look at it, 85 pace, 78 dribbling, 73 passing, 78 defending, and 70 physical. That for me doesn't add up to an 82 rated card. So this year it's kind of like the defensive stat is lower, but it kind of contributes to an overall a lot higher. I don't quite get how they managed to work that one out, because in terms of averages, it doesn't make sense. But obviously there's a whole algorithm behind it, and they have kind of, I feel like they've kept the rating a little bit lower, but in terms of stats they've kept them really low, so there's more progression as we go throughout the game, or at least that's how I take it, and hopefully that is something we do see, because that would be brilliant to see. 80 stamina, really good. Got defensive stats are pretty average throughout. In terms of chemistry style, we're looking at potentially like an anchor, I think would be a nice one. Gets that pace up to 90, which I think is absolutely bang on. We then get 85 defending, and then we also get 77 physical. It does turn him into an 84 rated left back, and I think definitely for the first couple of weeks, this guy is your man. If he does get a one-to-watch card, obviously his price on his base card will definitely soar through the roof because he'll be out of packs, but then the one to watch would be one to look at. Tottenham, hit and miss games, that's all it needs is one good performance from him, gets a goal, and there's an inform. Then you've got an 85, an 86, an 87 rated left back as we go through the year. It could be a nice one to get. I feel like he will be expensive, but worth the little gander at him, really. He is left-footed, which is always good, and he has got a high attacking and medium defensive, which again is more like a left wing back without the shooting, but I would always make sure that I have the custom tactic to stay back, as I don't want him bombing forward too much and getting caught on the counter. So that's personally what I've done throughout FIFA 20 and FIFA 21, so definitely look at that. 3-star weak foot, 2-star skills. Let's get into some gameplay. So a couple things I did notice him. Really good on the pace, very, very good on that recovery. He does have a nice little kind of strength about him. He really bullies the ball off, and the first few games I wasn't really sure. I wasn't picking up the game very well, and the left back and right backs really weren't shining. I then played up to about 20 to 30 matches, and that's when personally he really shone for me. You can see so many times here, gets the ball down, gets a bit lucky that he doesn't get caught in that guy, but he manages to get the ball out. Time after time, he's always there in that position. We see here, again, a little change, takes the ball off him easy as you like it, brings it out, passes down the wing, and that's exactly what you want him for. He is absolutely consistent with that. And again, interceptions, lays the ball off, he's got a good pass on him, can really play with the ball. Yes, he may not be the best left back on the game, but definitely for a 10k left back right now, you're not going to mind with him. Great links on Spanish, and what more can you ask for? So without further ado, let's get into his endgame review. So as you can see here, we have some phenomenal links. Son, Dele Alli, Ramos, then you've got Llorente, you've got David Silva if you really wanted to, Thiago from Liverpool. There's so many good links that you can have with this guy, and the price is not bad. If I was to search up Premier League left backs, which we go here, and then we go with the left back position, we've got Robertson, who looks really good, to be fair. I want to try him out. Digne is another great one. Chilwell has his inform from this week. Mendy, again, we're looking mainly on the defending. He has got the physical, which is always nice, so very interesting to see there. And then as we go further down, not really fancying Alonso. Chilwell, his inform looks good. Base card, I think, is a little bit off it. Shaw is a no-go. Johnny, and you go down, you've got then just pace but no defending. Tyranny is one of them, but I think they're literally day one cards. You have got this card down here, again no defending, but a Sentinel could pull that out. But again, you're risking more pace for literally no defending. So I think really the main kind of attributes here is probably Mendy, Chilwell, Digne and Robertson. Robertson for right now, I wouldn't go for 70k. I don't feel like he'll do that much more of a job right now in comparison to maybe a couple of informs. If then you're looking at maybe Mendy could be the perfect option, or even going for Digne, maybe going for that and then going with the anchor will give him some kind of pace as well. But for me, Reguilon is a cracking card to get. 10k if you've got Premier League links, then obviously that is what you want to look at, and especially having that really strong link to Son will always have a big advantage, because players who are not that bad, maybe not the most meta, who link to really meta players like Son, will always do well and always are kind of put into teams as such. In terms of overall, I'm looking more at a 6.6 because I'm basing it really off his total ability, not necessarily the link ability in his squad and how good he is in terms of price right now, but in general ability, I think he's good. He's above average, but he's not quite the most meta left back. We're looking at Ferland Mendy. We're looking at someone like Alphonso Davies. They're going to be the ones that really put the market up for price, really. But looking at his stats, then we'll look at an anchor, because obviously you didn't see it in the review part of it. So anchor, 84 rated. You could go with a shadow, boosted up to 95, goes up to an 86. You just don't get no more physical then. You could then go potentially completely off the radar, keep the pace and get more defending. Does only put him up to an 83. I think you're looking at mainly shadow or anchor with this one. Shadow could be a nice one, obviously with a pace if you're kind of okay with his strength, but I think anchor is definitely going to be the one that really gets you up there in terms of everything else. As really, we've not got bad defending. The 7-2 composure would be an issue later on in the game, and that's why I say he's only a week 1, week 2 card. Going into a full month and going into FUT Champs, I don't know if he's going to have that wow factor for FUT Champs, for me personally. In real life, what has he done? Has he done any assists? One match so far, obviously he's a new transfer, so getting put into the team. In terms of generation, we saw him last year get a really nice team of the season, and then other than that, it's just FIFA 19 for Real Madrid, so a nice little build up from bronze to gold in 2 FIFAs. Can't argue with that. In terms of perfect links, unfortunately don't have any. We do have lots and lots of Spanish icons, as well as Harry Kane there, who, unless you put him as a CDM, isn't going to link. Lloris can't link, unfortunately, but you do have Son, De Gea if you really wanted to put him as centre-back, Thiago, Rodri, plenty of links, and I think that's probably the best thing about him. But obviously, Mendy is French as well, who also has phenomenal links, so there is a kind of battle of what you want in your team. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you all.